Howdy, y'all. Good afternoon. How is everybody? Ooh, still dark here. Light's gonna be weird in the room, probably. What's your weather like? Hey, Sue. Hey, Ben. Sue did good on the Shakespeare quiz. The light is weird. Yeah, it might be better. Hey, Terry. It's funny when it's like y'all say good morning, and I know it's the morning there. But thank you. Yeah, it's still dark. It's chilly. I think it's only gonna be like 12°C today. Ah, the spooky stuff, Genghis. You surprised yourself. Sue did good on the Shakespeare quiz. And you're not really that much of a Shakespeare fan? Just remembered it from school? I was so nervous because I wanted to do good. A couple of them I totally knew and just, I don't know, just panicked. But I did okay. I was glad. Yeah, the spooky stuff. Just before we get started, how many of you are vampires? It's a safe space. You can tell us. Genghis, we all kind of suspect. It's okay, come clean. Who's a vampire? Who is a vampire? And hey, look, I added a. Oops. That made the light even weirder. I don't know what I did. That made the light weird. There's the Dukes who got you. Not done much. Yeah, the Dukes, because there's different Dukes in different stories, different plays, and then it's like, ooh, which one? Yeah, it got me too a couple times. Got me too. No, Genghis, no vampiric tendencies. That's not a complete denial. Maybe you're fighting your tendencies. I'm only kidding you, Genghis. Oh, I was trying to do this. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, I can't comment, can I? No. I added another emoji. I got the cheers emoji, then I added a custom emoji. And the howdy one, that's a hat. And Ben, you're up all night. See, now maybe Ben is a vampire. He kind of just admitted it. Yeah, there it is, Ben. I gave you a new emoji. Gave Ben a new ghost emoji. And Genghis, you stay away from the sun. Terry's also a night person. See, I thought there might be one of you might be a vampire. Hmm, I thought so. I gave Ben a new emoji to try to scare me with. Ghost. I looked to see there's not a vampire one that I could come up with. But maybe I'll try to find a vampire emoji. But yeah, vampires. You don't like garlic either, Ben? See, I love garlic. So stay away from me. Yeah, Terry put up Terry's trying to scare me. But Ben put up the one I made. It's just a square one with the ghost. Both of y'all trying to scare me. Yeah, it's still dark. I gotta go to work pretty early. So I started. I'm just working down the street. I do like it that I have a lot of clients in my neighborhood. Just walk to work today, which is always good. Uh, so we're just yesterday I was talking about like I don't have any videos that get more than like 1,000 anymore views. Genghis doesn't like certain types of water or crossing running water. Can you not enter someone's house unless invited? Do you have no mirrors in your home, Genghis? But yeah, I was saying I don't get videos that go over 1,000 views anymore. Like 1,000 views if I'm lucky. But that 10 things video that released to the regular channel yesterday, it's already up over 4,000 views. It brought me like 25 new subscribers, which a lot of times I was getting like 1, 2, 3 subscribers a day. That video did really good. I don't know why. It's the 10 things that changed me since I moved to the UK video. It's still growing. It's still, a lot of times my videos lately, after a day, that's it. They don't keep growing. They don't keep getting views. That one's still growing. It did bring me, I can't tell exactly, but 25 to 30 new subscribers yesterday. And then also, when a video like that does good, what I notice is comments on older videos. So what happens is, yeah, it's good going for subscribers, Gingers. So what happens is when a video does really good like that, then the algorithm starts to suggest older videos to other people, and then I notice comments on older videos, and I notice older videos starting to get views. The British Museum video is also doing good. See, I can tell if it gets like hundreds of views an hour for the first several hours, then it's doing good. And that British Museum video, it's already got like over 700 views. It hasn't even been up for 7 hours on the regular channel. So that British Museum video is probably going to do also really good. Which is good, it helps. That's what I need is videos to start doing that again. It really helps. The channel, you'll try and comment more on videos, Kingus. It does help, the more comments. But I never go like, oh, that Genghis, he's not commenting. I never think that. I just fear you're out biting people on the neck. You don't have time to comment. You know, you got priorities. You need blood. I understand. Not all vampires are bad. They're just misunderstood. How I see it. Do y'all like vampire talk? So, yeah, the channel. Really, yesterday was a good day for the channel. Hopefully today we'll continue that. My reaction will come out to you after this is my reaction to Stonehenge. And I don't know. How do y'all think that will do? I don't know. I've been trying to hit some of the biggies, you know, like the British Museum, Stonehenge. I got some other big castles coming up. I never know what's going to do good. The Shakespeare quiz video will come out to the regular channel later today, and I don't think it'll do very good. But I never know. But Stonehenge, I'm just curious, is that video going to get a lot of views or not a lot of views? I have no idea. And then there's also a video coming out this is what I'll release to you right after the live stream. Stonehenge, in a video called 7 Lies Americans Believe About the UK. Genghis, are you single? You looking for your vampiresses? And then also after the live stream, I'll release, so I did all of your areas or cities or something from your, something for each of you. I did, that finished yesterday with Nicola. Now Nicola's not here, but I think she watches, or she watches in the replay. We were chatting yesterday, me and Nicola. And I mean, if anyone's got a vampire name, Nicola, right? If you're watching Nicola in the live stream, or if you're watching in the replay, Nicola. Sounds a little vampiric, doesn't it? Genghis, your name just sounds like you're a marauder. But it could be vampire-y. So to finish all of the areas that I did for you, comes out right after this. For your members only video is my area. So I did some more research. You know, I've had my ancestry done, and you know, I do have ancestry. A large part is from England, and then a little bit from Germany, and some from Greece that I have ancestry in. But in trying to find out exactly where in England my ancestry is from, and where my original great, I forget, grandfather came to North America from, I was trying to find that out. And I remembered that my mom had done a bunch of ancestry stuff at some point. Now my mom has dementia, so I couldn't just ask her on the phone because she wouldn't know. But I went and went through a bunch of her stuff, and I found out for sure what city my great, I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 greats grandfather came from in England. And it is what I thought before, and that video reaction is coming up. As your members only, it's my hometown in England, and it's Guildford, Surrey. I did think that before, but now I'm certain. Now, Genghis, also I'm linked to London in England. I do have ancestry that goes to London, but I don't know exactly who. But I do know that originally my family immigrated or migrated to North America from Guildford. So your members only reaction today is Guildford. I don't know a lot about it. And to be honest, that video also kind of was like, she started out in Wapping, I think, and was staying there and showed that a lot, even though it said Guildford in the thumbnail. And then she went over to Guildford and showed a little. I don't know, it sucks when that happens. I see a thumbnail, it says like Guildford, and then they show another city for half the video. I don't know why, but, and that also happened. Coming out soon is my Brunel video, and it was a really long video. I think it comes out tomorrow to y'all, and you know, because I was really interested in Brunel, and I didn't really know much about him. Isambard Kingdom Brunel. Kingdom, that's cool. That was his mom's maiden name, Sophie Kingdom. That's a cool name. So I was super interested, and I picked a long video, And the thumbnail said something about he's a genius and all this stuff. And I watched the whole video, and like 10 minutes in, he was still talking about Isambard's dad, Mark. And I was like, when is he gonna come halfway through this video? He's not even talking about Isambard. And then when he talked about Isambard, and you tell me what you know, but he was like talking about all of his failures. He was a dreamer, and this failure and that failure. I was like, what? I thought he was a genius that had a lot of success. But mostly he talked about this, well, after he spent half the video talking about, hey, Choppy, after he spent half the video talking about Isambard's dad, then he spent the other half talking about failures. I think he left out a bunch. I feel like I need to do another reaction to Brunel, but y'all let me know. Didn't he have a lot of success? He mentioned the SS, what is the ship? Well, he designed a few ships, but the one there that's in Bristol, the SS Britain, and he talked about it, and he didn't say like it broke records selling across the Atlantic. He said it wrecked in Ireland. You can't defeat us talk like this, Chubby. Yeah, I was kind of bummed about the Brunel video that I watched, but it was very long. I was trying to pick a good one. I don't know. I'll probably do another one. Yeah, no, he was brilliant, right? Genghis? I mean, the thumbnail said he was a genius. It didn't say he wasn't a genius in the video, but it said, it talked about failure, this failure, that failure, this failure, that failure. And it talked about his dad a lot. I was like, failure? I thought he was successful. And it didn't mention any didn't he design buildings? I thought he did, but it didn't mention not one building he designed. It didn't mention anything in London he designed. I thought he designed stuff in London. There's still loads of his stuff still about today. Bridges, boats, tunnels, stations. Okay, it did mention stations. Now, it said he designed the Clifton Suspension Bridge, but it wasn't built until after his death. I didn't know that. So he designed it, but it never got built while he was alive. Brunel made things to last. Yeah. I was disappointed in the video. I said it in my reaction. I was like, what was that? I thought anyway. I mean, it was about it. It said he was a dreamer, and he tried a lot of stuff. I don't know. I mean, it was good. I think it comes out tomorrow to you. Yeah, he designed the Clifton Suspension Bridge, but it wasn't built until after his death. That's what the video said. I thought, load of the underground and viaducts. I don't think it mentioned that. Anyway, I think it comes out tomorrow. Y'all can check it out. I mean, it's not a bad video. It just wasn't really what I expected. And the guy talked way too long about his dad. I didn't care. I was like, let's get to him. Didn't mention his dad in the thumbnail. But I think he spent the first 10 minutes of the video talking about his dad, who also had some success, apparently. Alright, let's get to vampires. Choppy. I already asked everybody else. Are you a vampire? I mean, Choppy. Is that because you got big, like, vampire teeth? You said it was because you were eating a pork chop, but I don't know. Well, y'all think it's Choppy a vampire? So far, we think Ben, Genghis, and Terry all could be vampires, Choppy. We think so. But we're not sure. We need a mirror to find out for sure. But, so, do y'all know about Highgate? Have you ever heard, you can't say that you like vampires, Choppy? I never met one, besides maybe Genghis, but I never met one in person so far that I know of. I do know some pretty pale folks. See, Sue, I didn't even accuse Sue. She loves the sun and garlic. She did good on the Shakespeare quiz. I don't even think, I didn't suspect Sue at all. But I was thinking maybe Ben, he's up all night. Didn't you say you don't like garlic, Ben? Mm-hmm. You like the sun, but not garlic, Choppy. Have you heard of the Highgate Vampire before? Is this like a common story you all know? Or you never heard of it? I don't know. I never heard of it, but I was looking for something to do. Now, I'm going to do some reactions to this coming up soon. But I was just perusing things. I was looking for spooky stuff. And this one came up. But have you heard of the Highgate Vampire, anybody? So, Highgate Cemetery, let's just talk about that a little bit first. Yes, that's right, Choppy. It's in London. There's a big cemetery in London called Highgate. And garlic's okay, but you don't have it on much. It's too strong. And garlic, fresh garlic. Oh man, you ever make shashuka? I like to put a lot of garlic in my shashuka. Anybody else like shashuka? Tomato and egg dish? Anyway, you used to work near Highgate, but you never heard the vampire Sue? Oh, Terry found some vampire emojis. There's an old role-playing game called Chill from Pacesetter all about vampires. You would know that, wouldn't you, Genghis? Yeah, I'm starting to suspect Genghis more and more. The royal family don't eat garlic? None of them? I mean, King Charles, maybe, right? Hmm. That's starting to make sense. But not the former queen. She liked corgis. Vampires, they don't like corgis. That's what I think. Corgis are too cute to hang out with vampires. They don't even have, they barely have legs. So Highgate Cemetery opened in 1839. Was part of a plan to address the overcrowding of churchyard cemeteries in London. It became a prestigious burial site for many notable figures, including Karl Marx and Douglas Adams. Over the years, the cemetery fell into disrepair, particularly after World War II, leading to its eerie and overgrown appearance, which contributed to its haunted reputation. You used to work near here, Sue? So you've been here? They don't eat crustaceans either. It's in case they talk to anyone give off garlic breath. Queen Elizabeth II didn't eat garlic. Well, that was just because she had good manners then, Choppy. You know, Americans loved Queen Elizabeth II. We never disparage her. I mean, I guess y'all felt the same way, probably. I'm guessing, but Americans always loved Queen Elizabeth II. Okay, so there were ghostly encounters at Highgate Cemetery. Numerous visitors and paranormal investigators have reported strange occurrences within Highgate Cemetery. Some notable accounts include a man who claimed to have seen an apparition with red eyes glaring at him through the gates. Reports of a ghostly cyclist. That ghost is okay in my book. You know, if he's just trying to get exercise, get the wind in his hair. Vampires do have impeccable manners, Genghis. So reports of a ghostly cyclist and other spectral figures that seem to glide through the cemetery. Letters sent to local newspapers detailing frightening experiences, including encounters with shadowy figures and strange noises. Highgate Cemetery remains a popular destination for those interested in the paranormal, with its rich history and numerous ghost stories attracting enthusiasts and curious visitors alike. Whether or not one believes in the supernatural, the cemetery's haunting atmosphere and the legends surrounding it make it a fascinating place to explore. The Highgate vampire emerged. This legend emerged in the 1960s when reports of a mysterious black figure began circulating. This figure was said to be seen lurking around the cemetery, particularly along Swains Lake. The tales intensified when two teenage girls claimed to have witnessed the dead rising from their graves. This sparked a series of ghostly encounters, including sightings of a creature with glowing red eyes and other apparitions. So that's kind of overview of Highgate Cemetery in London. Has anyone so you said you used to work near there. Anybody else ever like seen this cemetery or been to this cemetery? Choppy, you believe in ghosts? I mean, I could be convinced, Choppy. I could be convinced. I don't know if I go as far as say I do believe in ghosts, but I could be convinced. And as far as that goes, I could be convinced about aliens. Again, I can't say I do believe in aliens. You've had two ghosts, Choppy. But, I mean, mathematically, it's almost a fact that there's no way we're alone in the universe. So I could be convinced. There might be aliens and there might be ghosts. So that was an overview just basically of Highgate Cemetery, where it is in London. It's old and creepy. It's got a lot of ghost stories. Infrared eyes, Genghis. So this is from a website called Far Out Magazine. And this story is called The Strange Tale of the Highgate Vampire. It says in March 1969, the British Psychic and Occult Society began receiving reports of a tall black apparition stalking the tombs of London's Highgate Cemetery. Most of the accounts turned out to be regurgitations of local gossip. But it wasn't long before investigators traced a man claiming to have had a first-hand experience with what came to be known as the Highgate Vampire. The witness recalled having been hypnotized. I don't want to be hypnotized by a vampire. By something lurking in the shadows. He began to make his way for the exit, but soon found himself lost and disoriented. Is it that big? Is it a really big cemetery? The Ghost in the Glow Public House in Whitehaven is called Tom Fool. Yeah, you got a lot of ghosts. Ben says, bit off topic, but did you know in the old days when they used to bury people, yes, they would also put a string coffin attached to a bell. That's right. Because they did sometimes accidentally bury people alive, Ben. That's why. I believe Edgar Allan Poe, they did it in the States too. I think Edgar Allan Poe had one. Because he was afraid of being buried alive. I could be mixing him up with somebody else, but I think Edgar Allan Poe had a string. He was insistent, like, I need a string and a bell. Ben, that's to alert the vampires. Okay, so as this guy stumbled around in the night, he was hypnotized by a vampire. He began to feel the presence of something behind him. Ooh, I don't like that. Spinning around, he saw a tall black figure which abruptly vanished. Not long after, two teenage girls, they were mentioned before, who'd been walking home along the lane, claimed to have witnessed the spirits of the dead rising from their graves. An elderly woman also claimed she had been frightened by a tall, dark man with glaring eyes while walking her dog inside the cemetery gates. How tall are you, Genghis? This one was tall. Then the foxes started dying. All of this was promptly picked up by local newspapers such as the Hampstead and Highgate Express, which in February 1970 ran an article with the headline, "Why Do the Foxes Die?" in which they suggested the local sightings were proof of a vampire and evidence of occult activity in Highgate Cemetery. The suggestion was, of course, that the foxes, which had been found with deep cuts to the throat, had been killed by the vampire. Although David Farrant, British Occult Society investigator and eventual vampire hunter, how do you get that job? And how much does it pay? Okay, King, it's 5'11", that's pretty tall, but that's not really tall. That's not like 6'5". So, okay, I'm going to let you off the hook, Genghis. You're not the Highgate vampire. There's a ghost of Abraham Lincoln at the White House. Oh, in the U.S.? Yeah, that is a story. You stay in the Lincoln bedroom at the White House. They call it the Lincoln bedroom, but it wasn't his bedroom. They just call one of the bedrooms at the White House the Lincoln bedroom. You can always trust the ham and high. Is it not trustworthy? Sue, is that what you're saying? Is it like just one of those newspapers that's always full of crazy stuff? So this guy, this vampire hunter, he dismissed the claims. He did not rule out the possibility that animals had been trapped and used as sacrifices in black magic rituals, however. After embarking on an extensive investigation of the local sightings, during which he and his colleagues supposedly spotted the apparition, Farrant wrote to the Hampstead and Highgate Express, claiming that he had evidence of the vampire and of satanic activity in the cemetery. Shortly after, Farrant's team was invited to give a personal account of the investigation for an independent television program. The society denied this request as it forbade any release of information about ongoing investigations. Farrant, on the other hand, was happy to recount his own personal encounter with the vampire. In his book, Beyond the Highgate Vampire, Farrant claims that he was careful to avoid using sensationalist terms like vampire during the interview. However, another interviewee, a somewhat theatrical character who had been pestering local newspapers looking for publicity since he had first become aware of the investigation, claimed that the phenomenon was in fact king vampire. And after producing a crucifix and homemade wooden stake, announced that to exorcise a vampire one must first drive a stake through its heart with one blow, chop off its head with a gravedigger's shovel, and burn what remains. This was Sean Manchester. He's moved to the ballroom, huh? This was Sean Manchester, a self-proclaimed exorcist, vampire hunter, and bishop of the Old Catholic Church. Unlike Farrant, he was convinced that the phenomenon was indeed a vampire of the Bram Stoker tradition, and vowed to dispatch the creature once and for all. Manchester went on to claim that Farrant, who had previously told an overzealous reporter that he was prepared to take any means necessary to rid Highgate of the creature, would be joining him on this dangerous mission. If Manchester's comments were designed to create maximum publicity, then he certainly succeeded. The night following the TV broadcast, hundreds of people armed with wooden stakes and shovels converged on Highgate Cemetery to take part in a vampire hunt. After breaching the police cordon and storming the cemetery, several of the vampire hunters scrambled back to safety, having spotted something crawling in the dark. Ooh. In an interview with the London Evening News, one Mr. Anthony Robinson recalled, I walked past the place and heard a high-pitched noise. Then I saw something gray moving slowly across the road. Its name was Genghis. What? I can't believe it says that. I never believed in anything like this. Now I'm sure there's something evil lurking in Highgate. Oh, man. That was in 1970. Hundreds of people with wooden stakes converged on the cemetery. Isn't that crazy? Would any of you grab your wooden stake and go? If you were alive back then? Would you be like, oh man, yeah, I'm going? Yeah, no, Genghis. I made that part up, Genghis. You're not listed in the article. I just threw that in for fun. But yeah, would y'all grab your shovels and your wooden stakes? Go vampire hunting. Hundreds of people. To me, that's crazy. Huh. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. Would you? Or would you not? Anybody game to become a vampire hunter? Crazy. Look how spooky that looks. Don't all graveyards just look spooky though? Jonathan Mina Harker? Yeah, I've heard they're vampire hunters, right? Famous? I feel like I've heard that name. Jonathan Harker? That rings a bell. Are they vampire hunters, Genghis? You know them because they're your mortal enemies. And you would leave it to the others and you wouldn't risk it. Yeah, I don't think I believe in vampires, but I don't think I'm also going to go hunting them. I probably should be careful. I keep outing Genghis. He's going to come for me in the night. So I have another article. I have 2 or 3 more articles. I don't know if I get to them, but let's see. There was one in here. Apparently George Eliot is also buried in that. Karl Marx, Douglas Adams, George Eliot, all buried in that cemetery. Is this like, I guess that's part of the cemetery for the entrance or something. I don't know. Okay, there was one story I wanted to read that was kind of spooky. Oh my gosh. Look how spooky that looks. Oh, how spooky that looks. Apparently they've tried to preserve now the cemetery after it fell into disrepair at one point. And yeah, here's a picture. It was in, all this stuff was in the newspaper. Okay, that's not the one I was looking for. One of these stories had a pretty spooky. Okay. The Highgate Vampire is a captivating blend of supernatural folklore and urban legend, emerging from the leafy confines of Highgate Cemetery in North London in the late 60s and early 70s. The tale began to unfold in the 60s when reports surfaced of a tall, dark figure with hypnotic red eyes and a menacing presence being spotted in and around Highgate Cemetery. Eyewitness accounts varied, but the figure was often described as a malevolent specter, exuding an aura of malevolence. That is what malevolent specters do. The reports coincided with the rise in stories of strange occurrences in the area: animals found drained of blood, unexplained marks on bodies, and an overwhelming sense of dread felt by those who wandered too close to the cemetery. These rumors and sightings soon caught the attention of the media and local residents. Among those drawn to the mystery were self-proclaimed vampire hunters an occult enthusiast. I wanted to find this part. Maybe. Oh, yeah, that's not it either. Apparently, this guy, Sean Manchester, really heightened awareness of the whole thing. Yeah, I guess that's really it. Scary, huh? Jeremy Beadle is buried in Highgate Cemetery. So some pretty famous people, huh? Buried there. Uh, so yeah, initial publicity on December 21st, 1969. This David Farrant and this Sean Manchester, they really, they really brought this all to the public attention. The first story in the Ham and Highgate Express on February 27th, 1970. They believe that he's the king vampire of the undead, a medieval nobleman who had practiced black magic in medieval Romania. That's who they thought it was. Kind of sounds like Dracula. See, I would laugh at, I think I have seen Jeremy Beadle and some stuff, Chuck. And yeah, that mass vampire hunt took place in March 1970, where hundreds of people came out. In the latter years, the Sean Manchester wrote in his own account of his doings that night. According to his narrative, he and some companions entered the cemetery unobserved by the police via the damaged railings of an adjoining churchyard, because the police were out there trying to stop people. And he claims that he exorcised the vampire out of Highgate. He also wrote a lot of books and made a lot of money, I'm guessing, about this story. So, you know, what I'm thinking about, because I could use some extra cash, you know? Couldn't we all? Beatles was very funny, Terry says. Done a prank show called Beatles About. Maybe that's what I've seen. That sounds familiar to me. When I was young, I used to watch a lot. And is it older? When I was young, I used to eat up British comedy stuff. It is big, Highgate Cemetery, Genghis says. I don't know, I'll check out Jeremy Beadle, see if I recognize it. Because it does sound familiar. But I can't picture him in my head or anything. But yeah, I need a little extra cash. So I'm thinking about starting a vampire rumor somewhere. And then I'm going to save that place from the vampire. What do y'all think? Is that a good good money-making opportunity? I bet you the Sean Manchester made some money. Then I'll have a big vampire hunt. Y'all can join, bring your wooden stakes and shovels. Yeah, we could all get together and make a little extra cash. Jeremy Beadle had one small hand. Well, the vampire had one small hand. I think you mean Jeremy Beadle. Just don't kill Genghis now. I don't think Genghis is a malevolent vampire. I think he's good-natured. And it's not his fault. You know? Maybe he got bit by a vampire as a young child, and it's not his fault. He's a nice vampire. But he does get thirsty for blood. What's he gonna do? He's gotta do something. But Jeremy Beadle had a small hand. Had one small hand. Was it like, I used to have this, when I was in high school, we had this guy on the tennis team. He had a hand like that. He's born with it. It was kind of like, Like he had one little nub like this, but it was real small. It was smaller. His whole hand was smaller than his wrist. And he was on the tennis team. So he played tennis with just one hand. He could kind of use the other hand to like reposition the racket, but he could really hold the racket with it. Genghis, you do like black pudding? And Ben goes, you can eat. That's funny. Genghis said it at the same time. Uh, but the guy on the tennis team, so I'm sure y'all had like, and you probably still do. We used to have like those little vending machines where you could get like bubble gum out of. Had like a little slot at the bottom, and you put your penny in or your nickel or whatever, a quarter, and you turn the crank, and it'd rotate the little thing, and then it'd drop the bubble gum or candy down into the slot. But this guy that was on the tennis team that had that one little small hand, he could fit that up in there. He could fit that up in there without putting any money in, and he could rotate that the candy, and we get free candy. That's what his one small hand was good for. It's like a little party trick. Anytime we'd walk by one of those little bubblegum machines, he'd get us some free bubblegum. Worst bubblegum ever made. Lost Highway is a bit vampiric. You know, a lot of vampire movies. Is Lost Highway a movie? Is that a TV show? Anyway, that was a fun talk about the Highgate Vampire I'd never heard of. And I see some videos on YouTube about both Highgate Cemetery and the other ghostly encounters that have happened then. Yeah, we were all friends with him, Ben. Free stuff does taste better, even though it was the worst. Those bubblegum machines, that was the worst bubblegum ever made. It's a movie, Genghis. But it did taste better because it was free. Yeah, I woke up okay this morning. Actually, I did wake up about 4 a.m. But I also went to bed really early because I was tired. I didn't work yesterday, but I'm working now. I'm back to work every day. Back to work. I got a few small jobs over the next few days, and then I start a big project. I'll probably work for 3 or 4 weeks. And I'll take some more time off. And maybe occasional day off here or there in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And you don't even go to bed till 5 a.m. I thought you were trying to get your sleep pattern right. But yeah, I'm going to react to Highgate Cemetery coming up soon. Maybe the vampire and some of the other ghost stories. And I'll put it out for y'all. I do have another spooky video coming up about haunted train stations. I still don't know what the ghosts are doing at the train station. Ben, you don't work? Chop, you go to bed at 1. Ben's still trying to get his sleep schedule right. Sleep when you want, right? But that does make now. I've been blaming Genghis or accusing Genghis, but Ben, you're looking more and more like you might be a vampire. Terry, you have sleep apnea, so your sleep pattern is all over the place. Yeah, that is tough. I do get insomnia. Sometimes I can't sleep no matter what. Other times I sleep just fine. But yeah, so I got more spooky reactions coming. Haunted train stations. Genghis, you need steady biorhythms. Well, I'm kind of excited that 10 things video is doing so good on my channel. Already up to 4,000 views. Hopefully it'll keep going. Like I said, that brings subscribers. It makes the algorithm show other videos. I can tell because old videos are now getting comments, you know, that I haven't seen any comments on in quite a while. So that tells me the algorithm is starting to share other videos, all because one video does good. So, and yeah, I don't know. For all I know, all of y'all are vampires. All y'all talking about staying up all night. He goes to bed at 1 a.m. I mean, 1 a.m., that's close to what we call the witching hour. Ghost Casebook is a belting channel. Ghost Casebook. Is that a YouTube channel? A lot of times these like ghost, some of these channels that are just about ghosts, they're like 1 hour videos. Can't watch them, you know? I mean, watch them on my own. The old mines are said to be a bit weird. Yeah, I bet they are, right? We got a lot of old mines in the U.S. too. They are spooky. There's a lot of old mines out in the deserts of Nevada. I used to live in Nevada, and I used to live in Las Vegas. It's just surrounded by desert, and Nevada is known as the Silver State. A lot of silver mining used to go on in Nevada. There's a lot of old mines, abandoned mines out in the desert. That's spooky. Ben's right. Ben is right. If you are a vampire, the best thing to do is to accuse a bunch of other people of being vampires. Guilty. I'm guilty as charged, Ben. Yeah. Ben, you're smarter than you look. Yeah, you figured me out. That is what you should, that's what, if you're a vampire, you just start accusing other people of being vampires. Yeah. That was pretty smart, Ben. Figured me out. Yeah, I have reacted to the Tower of London chopping. Nobody watched it. But it wasn't the spooky angle. I know the Tower of London's supposed to be haunted big time. But I reacted to just a regular video about the Tower of London and didn't do very good. I'm a big fan of the Tower of London. I have been since I was a kid. My fascination with England goes back to basically three things that fascinated me when I was a kid. It was the city of Bath, it was the city of York, and it was the Tower of London. Those three things, when I was a kid, I was in, I mean, back then there was no internet, but it was all up in our encyclopedias reading about York, Bath, and the Tower of London. Never judge a vampire from its appearance. Never judge anybody from their appearance, Kingers. You never know what's beneath the surface. But that was a fun live stream. Got an idea for tomorrow's live stream, but I'm waffling on it and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it. I'm not sure. I'll make up my mind and I'll post later what tomorrow's live stream will be. And it'll probably be about the same time, or like 1 p.m. your time. But still not drawing any new members to the members channel, and I'm still thinking about maybe doing away with the members only section. I know that Terry and Ben, you joined I think 27 days ago, and yet nobody, especially right now, nobody re-up, nobody pay again. Either I'm just going to get rid of it altogether, or I'm going to pay for next month's subscription for you guys. So everybody cancel, nobody pay. I may get rid of the members only section. I may do it slowly so that the folks that join later will still get their money's worth. Or I'll just pay for all of your subscriptions next month myself. But yeah, nobody renew their subscription, okay? 2 of Henry the Eighth, yeah, Anne Boleyn, yeah, Haunted Tower of London, yeah, I know, Chappie, you're probably not going to tell me anything I don't know about the Tower of London. I've been reading about it since I was a little kid. Yep, Genghis, that's right, Anne Boleyn's still looking for a head. Do you have it? I think you know a little too much about this, Genghis. Maybe you got it. Yeah, if I do phase out the members only area, what I'll do is as like Terry and Ben and Nathan who first signed up, if I phase it out, what I'll do is at the point where yours expire, I will just make live streams public. And then for those who join later, like Sue and Genghis, I'll keep going with the members only reactions and the other things until it expires out, but I'll make live streams public. And then like, yeah, I don't know. So then like Terry and Ben, you wouldn't be able to see the members only videos until the whole thing expires, but then it'd all be public and you could catch up on those. I don't know. I may keep it going for another month and just pay for all your subscriptions and see what happens. But nobody seems to be joining. And I think it might be hurting my channel right now more than it's helping. But I'll let y'all know in the next day or two. Ben, you use Anne Boleyn's head as a Halloween decoration? That's funny. What do? Put it on a post out front? Alright, that's it, y'all. It was fun. It's fun and scary. And yeah, I'll let you know what tomorrow's live stream will be. Choppy, your membership runs out. I mean, you've been a member for 18 days. So you're only halfway through your membership. About. Yeah, I think the live streams, Genghis, would be good if they were public again. And I think it would be good if my food tasting videos were public again. Man, I'm calling Anne Boleyn right now. I'm gonna tell her all about it. Ben, he lives in Yeovil, Anne. He's got your head. Stop wandering around the Tower of London looking for it. Ben Burden, Yeovil. He's got it. But yeah, that was fun. Cheers, Genghis. And yeah, I'll wrap things up. Y'all have a good day, right? Choppy, Ben, Genghis, Terry, Sue. Good to see you all. I don't see Nicola in the comments, but she does watch, so have a good day, Nicola. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I will release Stonehenge, 7 Lies Americans Believe About the UK, and the one about my hometown in the UK, Guildford, right after the live stream. Ben. Yeah, cheers to you, Ben, too. But that was fun. Everybody have a good day. Wayne from Dallas, Texas, signing out.